Welcome to Kidmissing TV. I'm your host, Angelina Wilson, and I'd like to show you something before we begin. My best friend, her Etsy is in the description, made this, and she can make stuff for you. She's extremely talented. She has a lot of 5-star reviews. And I highly recommend that you check her out. It's right at the top of the description. Sorry. So, this is our first Dough Friday of Oddities October. This is the case of Peter Bergmann Dough. That was an alias that he gave to a hotel in Ireland, in Sligo, Ireland, the Sligo City Hotel, on the 12th of June, 2009. But he actually checked into the hotel on the 12th. I think he might have been killed on the 16th, where he stayed during his visit to Sligo. The man's movements were captured all over CCTV. That's closed caption. It's in England they have way more CCTV just out on the streets than we do. So they were able to follow him all around. It was a strange case. And what I'll do is I will put in the end card Georgia Marie's video on the case, because she has some of the CCTV footage. Was it Georgia Marie? No, it wasn't. Well, I'll figure it out, because there is a case. Well, there is someone who has, that I watched, that has all the CCTV footage that I don't have. So I'll make sure that I put that up. He was first spotted on Friday the 12th at the bus depot. When he came in, he had a German accent and spoke English. He had a purple bag that he was carrying around with him, like a shopping bag, like a plastic bag, a disposable shopping bag, that had something in it. That seems to have disappeared and reappeared a couple of times on the footage. Also, a backpack appeared and disappeared and reappeared on the footage as well. They thought he disposed of his belongings and put the bag in his pocket, but they never found anything. He checked out of the hotel on the 15th, and handed in the room key. He left with a black shoulder bag, the purple plastic bag, and a different black luggage bag. But he didn't have the same bag that he arrived in Sligo with, a little carry-on. It was just all really weird. I can't give you the times, they're all military. I need my uncle for that. But he went to the shopping center, headed toward the bus stop. At the bus station, he ordered a cappuccino and a toasted ham and cheese sandwich. He was reading paper he had in his pocket, and then he tore it up. It's just really bizarre. Then he got on a bus for Rose's Point. "16 people casually greeted him walking on the beach at Rose's Point. The following morning, Tuesday the 16th of June, Arthur Kinsella and his son Brian, who was training for a triathlon, found the man's body lying on the beach at 6:45 in the morning. He was wearing purple-striped Speedo-type swimming trunks with his underpants over the top, a navy t-shirt tucked into them. Arthur and Brian called the Gardaí, which is the Irish police, and Dr. Valerie McGowan officially pronounced the man dead. Most of his clothes were on the shore. There was no wallet, money, or form of identification. There was no evidence of a classical saltwater drowning, even though he'd washed up on the beach. And no signs of foul play. And he had signs of frequent dental work. He even had a full gold tooth in the upper back right side of his mouth and a small silver filling along the gum of a tooth on the left side lower jaw. He was in very poor health. He had the advanced stages of prostate cancer and bone tumors. So he had metastatic prostate cancer to his bones. He was dying. And he had no medication of any sort in his system. He would have been in significant pain and required prescription pain medicine, or at least over-the-counter pain relievers. His funeral was attended by 4 Gardaí when they finally did bury him 5 months later. The address he gave to the hotel was a vacant lot. But the spelling of the address does not exist in Austria or Germany. And Vienna postcodes begin with the number 1 rather than the number 4. Zip codes, in other words. So the postcode 4472 is unassigned. So how would they have known that the address was a vacant lot when the address didn't exist at all? In 2015, the French newspaper Le Monde reported that they had contacted Austrian police about the case, and that Austrian police commented that the Gardaí had never contacted them. Le Monde also reported that there is no Interpol notice for the unidentified man because the body did not fall into either of the 2 Interpol categories, missing person or wanted person. It is the responsibility of his country of origin, Austria or Germany, to report him missing. Oh, you know what? It might have been on Dark Curiosities with Kirsty. He was 178 centimeters tall, so he was a little over 6 foot. Gray hair, blue eyes. All the labels had been carefully removed. And they make a big deal of that, saying, well, that blocks his identity, it blocks where he came from. Well, you know what? Not necessarily. I don't come from China, and unfortunately, that's where most of my clothes are made. Some people take their tags off because they're itchy. That is why companies like Hanes have gone to tagless and stamp printing their information on their shirts, which is particularly good for autistic people like me who are driven absolutely mad by tags. So a company called Locate International has worked with ThingLink, an interactive media platform, to turn images and videos into an interactive asset, allowing people to actively learn more about Sligo Man and the ongoing investigation. Forensic imaging consultant Hugh Morrison, spelled H-E-W, has produced a new depiction of the man, and there is also a YouTube video featuring exclusive CCTV footage of the man during his time in the area. That's what I'll look for. And I want to read this quote from Locate International. Quote, "Did any member of the public treat him or anyone who matches his description for cancer in the late 2000s? Does anyone know anyone from Germany or Austria who ever had a connection with Sligo, Derry, or the west coast of Ireland? And if anyone who suddenly disappeared or lost contact with who looks similar to this man?" Locate International said, end quote. I actually do have a phone number for this case. If you know anything about this case. Hopefully this will get on German TV and get translated into German. This is close to my heart for two reasons. One, obviously, I'm Irish. Northern Irish, but I'm Irish. And second, because the man I regard as my grandfather was German. So it kind of goes both ways, you know? But if you have any information, however insignificant you think it might be, please call 0300-102-1011. That's 0300-102-1011. I know that's confusing. That's how they do phone numbers in Europe. Or email appeals@locate.international. At locate.international. Information can be submitted anonymously. So who was this man? Do I have any ideas? Not really. I think he was German. I think that we've kind of established that. Or Austrian. They're both basically German. I think at one time they were one country. Anyway, Bavaria too, really. But I think Bavaria is now part of Austria. They all speak German. They're all German. Like I said, they probably hate me for that. They are. So if you're from those areas and you happen to speak English and German so you understand me, I wish I could have this translated into German, but and that phone number is for Locate International, not the Gardaí. You'd think the Gardaí would be the number you'd call, and maybe you would if you're in Ireland, but oh my knee. But this man's not in Ireland. Well, not from Ireland originally. He just happens to be buried there. I think it's very sad, and I think they need to start looking. They needed to look in all of the trash cans at the bus stop, at the roadside diner where he ate outside, all those places, to see what they could locate. The ripped up paper, because it had to be there somewhere. I mean, maybe it had already been taken out before they got there, but even if it had, it wouldn't have gone to the trash yet. They could have said, this is the kind of bags we use in the outside, trash cans or whatever, and this is the dumpster they get put in at the end of the night. And they could have gone through those bags and maybe found that paper or those papers, So there were missed opportunities, I think, because he had given a name and they had no reason to doubt the name until they couldn't find the name anywhere. So then they realized something was wrong, and it wasn't him. So if there's any pink on me, I'm sorry. I did a video on the other channel where I did Gem and the Holograms makeup, so I had to clean that off before I could do this. But I love my shirt. Thank you so much, Wendy. Again, her link is in the description permanently. It says my best friend's Etsy shop, :space, and the link to her Etsy shop. So you can just click on it. I believe it's the top one because it's the newest one. And just tell her you saw her link at Kidmissing. She's the one that helped me build my very first Kidmissing website back in 2003. Because we only known each other since we were 5. Actually, before that, because what she didn't know apparently until the other day was that her mother was actually selling Avon to my mother when she had her horrific accident. She was 2 years old, and it was something my mother never forgot. My friend dumped a pan of frying oil over her head. She was 2 years old. She reached up, and it got dumped over her head, and she had severe burns. Like, she had skin grafts and spent months in the hospital. It was an ordeal. And I guess her dad was calling around to his wife's clients and called my mother's house, and she was there, and she ran home. My mother never forgot it. And my friend was dumbfounded when I told her that the other day. She said, "You gotta be kidding me. I didn't realize that." I said, "Oh yeah. Ask your mother, she'll tell you." So years later, my mother became the Avon lady and was pretty darn good at it. But her mother went to nursing school and became a nurse. It's now retired, but so she went from ding dong, Avon calling, to nursing, which is pretty exciting, which was a good thing because she ended up divorced with alone with 3 kids. So, which was a good thing. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me. God bless you. Have a wonderful rest of your day.